My name is Arjun Patel, and I am a 60-year-old man from India. For 40 years, I served as a devoted Hindu priest at a prominent temple in Mumbai. My life revolved around rituals, prayers, and guiding worshippers in their spiritual journeys. I took immense pride in my role, believing I was helping people connect with God. I performed sacred ceremonies in devotion to the deities Krishna, Shiva, and many others. I thought I understood. Happened to me on October 15th, 2018, during a temple ceremony, changed my life forever and revealed a truth I never imagined. That day, as I was leading a large prayer service, surrounded by the familiar sights and sounds of devotion, the scent of incense filling the air, the rhythmic beats of drums, and the chanting of mantras, I suddenly felt a sharp pain and around me blurred, and then everything went dark. I later learned that I had suffered cardiac arrest and was clinically dead. Fully capture it. As my body lay lifeless, I felt my soul being drawn out. It was as though I was leaving behind everything I knew, my identity, and entering a realm I could never have imagined. I was surrounded by an overwhelming feeling I had deep that it brought tears to my soul. I expected to see Krishna, Shiva, or one of the many deities I had worshipped faithfully for my life. Them. Christ, radiant, majestic. His presence was not just powerful, but also tender and deeply personal. He exuded love, pure, unconditional love that is under. In that moment, I felt my sorrows, my doubts, and even my failures left me speechless. It was as if he was telling me, without words, I know you, and I love you. In those moments, I realized the connection. It was a love that fulfilled. I felt no conflict, no sense of betrayal to my past faith. Instead, I felt a complete experienced were beyond anything I had ever known, and I understood that this was the divine love I had been seeking all my life. When I was revived after 4 minutes of clinical death, I found myself lying in a hospital bed. The vivid images and emotions from my experience stayed with me, clear as daylight. I could not dismiss them as a mere dream or hallucination. They were more real than the world I returned to. I knew then that my life could never be the same. In the days and weeks that followed, I began to wrestle with the implications of what I had experienced. How could I reconcile this encounter with Jesus with the decades I had spent as a Hindu priest? Was it possible that the truth I had sought through my faith could be found in some. These questions consumed me, and I knew I couldn't ignore them. I started reading about Jesus, his life, his teachings, love, and salvation. I began studying the Bible and learning about his sacrifice for humanity. That reached beyond boundaries, beyond religions, and beyond my understanding. Eventually, I made the decision to accept Jesus Christ as my Savior. It was not an easy choice. My role as a Hindu priest had defined my identity for 4 decades. Leaving that behind meant facing criticism, rejection, and even estrangement from my community and some of my family members. Transformed me in ways I could not ignore. Today, I no longer serve as a Hindu priest, but I do not see my past as a mistake or a contradiction. Instead, I see it as part of the journey them to follow. I believe that God's love is vast and boundless, waiting for each of us to recognize and embrace it. No matter a new purpose and a peace that I had never known before. I hope that my story inspires others to explore the depths of divine love and discover the truth. The truth is Jesus, and I will forever be grateful for the grace that brought me into His presence. During my extraordinary encounter with Jesus Christ, I received a message so profound and transformative that it was not a message delivered in words, but one conveyed through the I had ever known. Standing in the radiant light of Jesus, traditions, and distinctions, I believed in the sacredness of my faith and the gods I served. Yet, in that moment, it became clear to me that these distinctions, Hindu, Christian, Muslim, or any other label, are human constructs, not divine truths. The love I encountered was not limited by the names we call upon or the paths we walk. It flowed freely and equally to all, without regard for culture, creed, or background. It was a love so vast and inclusive that it shattered the walls of division I had unknown. Not confined to any temple, church, or mosque. It is not only this realization changed everything for me. It was not a call to reject my faith or past, but an invitation to see beyond it, to recognize that the divine cannot be contained within the limits of human understanding. The God I met in Jesus was the same God I had sought in Krishna and Shiva, the same Creator who dwells within and loves all of humanity. As I stood in the presence of Jesus, I received another profound insight: the beauty and purpose of unity within diversity. It was as though I was shown the entire spectrum of human spirituality, each tradition and practice reflecting a different aspect of the same divine truth. I saw that every religion is like a facet of a diamond, each one shining with its unique brilliance, but all part of the same whole. Or, as light passes through a prism to form a rainbow, each faith tradition represents a different color in the spectrum of divine revelation. Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, unique language, the significance of any one tradition, but rather enhanced my respect holds a monopoly on truth. Each one reflects a part of the divine mystery, and together, they reveal a fuller picture of God's love and purpose. Far from creating division, these differences were intended to enrich our understanding of the Creator. Each tradition offers a unique perspective, a unique way of connecting with God. Instead of focusing on the differences that divide us, we are called to celebrate the unity that binds us, a unity rooted in the infinite love of God. The message I received was not just intellectual or philosophical. It was deeply personal and transformative. It was a call to action, a challenge to live out this divine love in my own life. In the presence of Jesus, I understood that this love demands more than mere belief. It requires us to break down the walls of judgment, division, and exclusion. It calls us to build bridges of understanding, compassion, and acceptance. I was urged to look beyond the labels and see the divine spark in every person I encounter, regardless of their faith, culture, or background. I was invited to embody the love I had experienced, to let it guide my thoughts, words, and actions. This love was not just for me to receive, but for me to share, freely and without conditions. This was not an easy realization for someone who had spent 40 years deeply rooted in one tradition. I had to confront my own biases, my own assumptions about truth and faith. I had to let go of the idea that one path is superior to another and embrace the truth that God's love is far greater than any single tradition can contain. In the end, I understood that the essence of all spirituality is love, love for God, love for one another, and love for all of creation. This love is the highest truth, the ultimate purpose of our existence. It is the foundation of every faith and the thread that connects us all. The love I answered every question I had ever carried in my heart. It was not about rejecting my past or abandoning my faith. It was about seeing the bigger picture, understanding that all paths, when walked with sincerity and humility, lead to the same divine source. Today, I strive to live by this truth. My encounter with Jesus transformed not just my beliefs, but my entire perspective on life and humanity. I no longer see myself as confined to a single religious identity. Instead, I see myself as part of a greater whole, connected to all of creation through the infinite love of God. I share my story not to persuade others. I believe that when we look beyond the labels and divisions, we will find that the essence of God's love, every soul, in every moment of our lives. The love I encountered has given me a new purpose, a new peace, and a new understanding of what it means to be human. It is a love that transcends all boundaries, unites all people, and invites us all into the eternal embrace of the Creator. For me, this truth is embodied in Christ, and I will forever be grateful for the grace that revealed it to me. When I woke up in the hospital, it wasn't just the and I knew I could never see the world in the same way again. The vivid It was not a dream or a fleeting vision. It was more real than anything I had ever known. As I lay there, I realized that I had been given a gift. This was not just for me. It was a message for humanity. I knew that I had to share what I had seen and felt, even if it meant facing rejection, losing my position as a respected Hindu priest, or being cast out by my community and family. The truth I had encountered was too powerful to keep to myself. It was a truth that transcended all boundaries, a truth rooted in divine love that connects all creation. My life as a Hindu priest had defined me for over 40 years. It was my identity, my livelihood, and my connection to the community. Yet, as I reflected on my experience, I realized that clinging to my old life at the expense of this newfound truth would be a betrayal of the very divine love I had encountered. I began speaking about my experience, sharing how I had met Jesus Christ and how His love had revealed to me a universal truth. I spoke of how this love transcends religious labels and boundaries, showing us that God's grace is not confined to any single faith. I knew that speaking openly about Jesus in my context could be seen as controversial, even heretical. I knew I might face backlash, misunderstanding, and even hostility, but I also knew that staying silent was not an option. The reactions were mixed. Many in my community were unable to understand. Some accused me of betraying the tradition I had served for decades. Others dismissed my story as a hallucination or a result of the trauma I had endured. Yet, amidst the criticism, there were moments of profound connection. People from all walks of life, Hindus, Christians, Muslims, and those with no religious affiliation, listened to my story with open hearts. Some were moved, others were challenged, but almost everyone felt the depth of sincerity in my words. Through my experience, I felt a deep conviction to call humanity toward a higher purpose, a purpose that transcends the divisions we have created and leads us toward unity and love. I offer 3 appeals to humanity, born out of the truths I encountered during my near-death experience. We live in a world that often defines us by the labels of our religion, culture, or belief system. These identities, while meaningful, can sometimes blind us to the greater truth that lies beyond them. My encounter with Jesus revealed to me that God's love is not limited by any single tradition or practice. It flows freely to all, regardless of the names we use or the paths we follow. I urge everyone to look beyond the boundaries of their religious labels and open their hearts to a deeper connection with the divine. True spirituality is not about division. It is about unity with the Creator and with one another. In a world increasingly divided by religious and ideological conflicts, it is more important than ever to build bridges between faiths. My experience showed me that all spiritual traditions carry fragments of divine truth, like pieces of a grand mosaic. Instead of focusing on our differences, we must celebrate our shared humanity and the universal truths that bind us together. I call on religious leaders, communities, and individuals to engage in meaningful interfaith dialogue, not to prove whose path is superior, but to foster understanding, compassion, and unity. Together, we can create a world where diversity is not a source of division, but a testament to the richness of God's creation. Humanity is at a crossroads. We are advancing rapidly in technology, science, and material achievements, yet our spiritual growth has not kept pace. This imbalance threatens not only our inner peace, but the very survival of our planet. We must recognize that true progress is not just about external advancements, but also about the evolution of our souls. I urge everyone to prioritize their spiritual awakening, to seek a deeper connection with the divine, and to align their actions with the principles of love, compassion, and justice. This is not just a personal journey, it is a collective responsibility. The love I encountered during my experience was not confined to any one religion or tradition. It was universal, boundless, and all-encompassing. It showed me that the essence of all spirituality is love. Love for God, love for one another, and love for all of creation. This love is the ultimate truth and the foundation of all faiths. My vision for the future is one of unity, where humanity moves beyond the divisions of religion, culture, and ideology to embrace the common truth that binds us all. This is not about erasing our differences, but about recognizing the beauty and purpose of diversity within the greater whole. Each tradition, with its unique teachings and practices, contributes to the symphony of divine love. Together, we can create a world where mutual respect and understanding replace fear and prejudice. Today, I live with a renewed sense of purpose. My encounter with Jesus Christ did not negate my past as a Hindu priest. Instead, it enriched it. It helped me see the truths I had always sought in a new light. A light that transcends boundaries and unites all paths in the infinite love of God. I continue to share my story, not to persuade others to follow my path, but to inspire them to seek their own truth. I believe that when we open our hearts and minds, we will discover that the essence of God's love is present in every tradition, every soul, and every moment of our lives. The love I encountered has transformed me, giving me a new perspective on life, faith, and humanity. It is a love that transcends all barriers, unites all people, and calls us all into the eternal embrace of the Creator. My hope is that my story will encourage others to break down the walls within themselves and embrace the boundless grace and unity of divine love. Together, we can build a world that reflects the true purpose of our existence, a world rooted in love, compassion, and spiritual awakening. Lord, you who love beyond all borders and labels created by mankind, I bow before you with a heart full of gratitude and awe. Thank you for showing me your boundless love, a love that transcends the limitations of religion, culture, and tradition. Your love is not confined to any one belief or practice, but it embraces all of humanity, all of creation, unconditionally. It is this love that connects us all, no matter our backgrounds or paths, and for that, I am eternally grateful. Lord Jesus, you met me in a place of darkness and fear, in the moment when I was between life and death. It was in that instant that your light shone through, brighter than any light I had ever known. And in your presence, I found peace beyond understanding. You did not judge me for my past or the faith I had known, but you accepted me in your love, showing me a truth that I had not yet understood. I ask now, Lord, that you continue to teach me how to walk in your light, to live in a way that reflects the love you have shown me, even when it is difficult. Lord, grant me the strength and courage to speak your truth, even when it may cost me the things I hold dear. Help me to share the message of your unconditional love, a love that does not divide, but unites all people, regardless of their religion, race, or culture. Let me be a voice of peace in a world so often divided, and may my actions reflect the love that transcends all barriers. Give me the wisdom to build bridges between faiths, to foster understanding, compassion, and unity among people of all religions. Teach me to see beyond the outward differences and to recognize the divine spark in every human being, no matter their beliefs or practices. I pray for the humility to learn from those whose paths differ from mine, and the grace to embrace the beauty of diversity as part of your grand design. Lord, I pray for the awakening of spiritual consciousness in this world. As we make rapid progress in technology and material advancements, may we also grow in spiritual wisdom. May our hearts open to the deeper truths that bind us all together. And may we recognize the importance of nurturing our spirits just as much as we nurture our bodies. Help us to realize that true progress is found in spiritual growth, in love, compassion, and understanding, not just in the pursuit of knowledge and possessions. I pray that your light will guide us all to live in a way that brings unity, peace, and healing to this world. Let us not focus on our differences, but instead celebrate the love that connects us all. May we work together to create a world where every person is seen, valued, and loved. Help us to build a world that reflects the divine love you have shown. A world where we no longer divide ourselves by religion or culture, but come together as one human family, united in your love. Lord, I pledge to live in your truth, to be a reflection of your love and hope, and to share the light that you have so freely given me. May my life be a testimony to the power of your love, and may I always seek to walk in your light, no matter the obstacles or challenges that may come my way. In the name of Jesus Christ, I make this prayer, trusting that you will guide me, protect me, and lead me on this journey of love and unity. Amen. I am convinced that my near-death experience is not merely a personal event, but a message that I feel deeply compelled to share with the world. This experience has shown me a truth that I believe humanity needs to hear, and I am determined to spread it as far and wide as possible. We are at a defining moment in human history. On one hand, we have unprecedented advancements in technology and science, but on the other, we are facing a spiritual crisis, a disconnect from the deeper truths that bind us as human beings. My experience has taught me that our growth as a species cannot be confined to technological development alone. It must be accompanied by a spiritual awakening that reconnects us to the divine love that transcends all boundaries and divisions. The divine love I encountered in my near-death experience is not just an abstract idea, but a living, breathing force with the power to heal and unite us. It is this love that can help us overcome the barriers that separate us, religious, cultural, and ideological. It is this love that can create bridges where walls have been built, And it is this love that can guide us toward a future where all people, no matter their background or beliefs, can live in peace and harmony. But this love will not be realized unless we, as a global community, make the conscious choice to seek it out, embrace it, and allow it to change our hearts. I have come to realize that once you have encountered the transformative power of divine love, silence is no longer an option. It would be a disservice to the truth I've been shown if I kept it to myself. This love is not just for me to hold on to, but to share with others, to spread it to those who are ready to receive it, to those whose hearts are open to transformation. Once we experience this love, we can't help but feel a deep responsibility to share it. It becomes part of our purpose, part of our mission here on Earth. I believe that this love is the key to humanity's greatest awakening. It is the force that will guide us into a new era of peace and understanding, where we see each other as equals, worthy of compassion and respect. In my experience, I saw that all religions, all cultures, all paths of life, when approached with sincerity, are reflections of this divine love. They are like different rays of light coming from the same source. The love I encountered showed me that there is no division in the eyes of the Creator, only a vast and unending love that unites us all as one global family. We are standing on the precipice of a new world, a world where we have the opportunity to transcend the divisions of the past and embrace a new way of being, built on love, kindness, and understanding. But in order to reach this future, we must be willing to share this love. We cannot wait for someone else to do it. We must be the ones who step forward, who choose to live by this love and embody it in our everyday actions. I urge everyone who reads this to take this message to heart. Let this divine love be the beacon that guides your path. Let it be the light that leads you through darkness, the strength that carries you through fear, and the warmth that heals the wounds of the past. When we allow this love to guide us, there is no limit to what we can achieve as a global community. We can overcome the divisions that have plagued us for centuries. We can build a future where peace, love, and unity are the cornerstones of our existence. The time has come for humanity to awaken to the truth that love is not just a feeling, but a force that can change the world. We have the power to transform ourselves and our world through the love we choose to embody. Let us open our hearts to this divine love and share it with others. Together, we can create a world that reflects the highest ideals of peace, compassion, and understanding. Together, we can awaken to the greatest transformation humanity has ever known. As we embrace this divine love, we must also recognize the responsibility that comes with it. It is not enough to feel love in our hearts. We must actively live it out in every word, every action, and every decision we make. Love calls us to action, to care for the earth, to uplift the broken, and to stand with the marginalized. We are called to be a living testament to the power of love, demonstrating to the world that true change begins within each of us. This is a love that transcends borders, transcends differences, and unites us in a shared mission to heal the world. When we embody this love, we are contributing to the collective awakening of humanity, a spiritual awakening that will lift us all higher, where we will no longer view each other through the lens of division, but through the eyes of compassion and understanding. Let us then, with hearts full of grace and courage, carry this love into the world. Let it be the seed that grows into a forest of hope, the light that guides us out of darkness, and the force that creates a future built on love and unity. This is the path we are meant to walk, and the time to walk it is now. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support allows us to continue sharing these powerful stories and creating a space for open, heartfelt conversations. Click the notification bell so you're always updated when we post new content. Together, let's explore the unseen, celebrate the miraculous, and inspire one another to live with love, faith, and wonder